Welcome back to the deep dive.
Good to be here.
This is where we take that big stack of articles, all the research, our notes,
Mm-hmm.
and really try to boil it all down into, well, the most useful nuggets of knowledge just for you.
Get right to the core of it.
Exactly. And today, we're plunging into a world that's not just dynamic, it's really defining that cutting edge where human skill meets technology.
Yeah, the world of private security.
I mean, just think about it. The threats are constantly shifting, aren't they?
Absolutely. Day by day sometimes.
And that demands the sharpest minds, the most adaptable skills you can imagine.
Indeed. And in this sector, human expertise isn't just, a component. It's the critical differentiator. It really is.
That's a great way to put it.
As technology just races ahead, so too must the human element. The people responsible for actually safeguarding lives, property, assets.
They have to keep pace.
They absolutely have to. Security, just by its nature, it's never static.
Never.
So the professionals operating within it, they just cannot afford to be static either.
Right. Which brings us to our mission today. We're embarking on a deep dive into capacitación y desarrollo,
Training and development.
specifically within this private security sector.
Hi.
And look, this isn't about, generic check-the-box exercises.
No, definitely not. Or that dusty old PowerPoint deck.
Exactly. We're talking about the deliberate, strategic forging of really effective, incredibly professional, and crucially adaptable security personnel.
It's like an art and a science, isn't it?
It really is the art and science of readiness, but in its most practical form.
And our insights for this deep dive, they're drawn from some pretty comprehensive materials.
Yeah, good stuff.
They really dig into why continuous training is so necessary. They look closely at designing programs meticulously, highlighting techniques that actually work, that go beyond just theory.
Right.
And they really underscore how critical, rigorous, multi-level evaluation is.
So our goal here together is to kind of unearth those foundational elements, the things that don't just enhance security operations, but genuinely empower the individuals, the people standing on those front lines, make them more resilient, more capable.
That empowerment piece is key.
So why does this matter to you? Listening in, well, maybe you're directly involved in security.
Or maybe you manage a team in any field, really.
Or maybe you're just curious about how that kind of high-stakes readiness is built systematically. Well, consider this deep dive your shortcut, your personal shortcut.
Yeah, getting right to the heart of it.
You'll get a real understanding of how that strategic investment in human capital and people translates directly.
It's protecting lives,
Safeguarding property.
preserving those invaluable reputations.
Get ready for hopefully some real aha moments as we unpack the principles behind truly effective, transformative security training.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, let's dig in. Our first big area to explore. The imperative of continuous training. Why investment is strategic.
Right. This is fundamental.
It's so common, isn't it, for organizations, maybe when they're doing budgets,
Budget time.
to see training as just another line item, a cost, something to be managed, maybe even minimized if possible.
Yeah, where can we trim?
But our sources, they really challenge that perception head on. They frame continuous training in private security not as some kind of expense that just drains resources,
No.
but as a critical, strategic investment, one that actually yields tangible, significant returns.
Precisely. It's an investment that links directly to, better operational efficiency, a higher level of professionalism across the board,
Right.
and maybe most importantly, the sheer capacity for adaptation.
In a sector that's changing so fast.
Exactly. In a sector like private security, which is so inherently dynamic, constantly evolving, to stand still, that's basically falling behind.
You're already losing.
Pretty much. The source material doesn't just suggest this. It really emphasizes that investing in your people, in their development, it's not just about making individuals better at one skill. It's fundamentally about the overall effectiveness of the security service being provided. And ultimately, the reputation. The hard-earned reputation of the company delivering those services.
It shifts the whole dynamic, doesn't it?
It transforms a force that might be reactive into one that's truly proactive, forward-thinking. strategic.
Okay, so let's really unpack the why then, the why behind this strategic investment, because this is where you start seeing the real impact.
Let's get into the benefits.
The first major benefit our sources keep highlighting is the perfection of skills.
Yeah, makes sense.
It sounds intuitive, right? When a crisis hits, when lives or property are actually on the line.
Yeah, the critical moment.
You want your security personnel to be incredibly sharp, precise, unequivocally effective. You don't want hesitation.
Absolutely. Continuous, targeted training equips people with the most current, the most effective tools to handle complex risk situations. More effectively, yes, but crucially, more safely.
Safer for everyone involved.
Exactly. Think about the specifics, the practical applications here. We're talking specialized courses in personal defense techniques. The very nuanced art of crowd control, which is harder than it looks.
Oh, definitely.
Critical first aid and CPR, highly precise weapon handling protocols, sophisticated surveillance techniques.
These aren't just classroom exercises, are they?
Not at all. This is about building muscle memory, refining reflexes, ingraining those decision-making processes so personnel can act with, well, unparalleled professionalism and precision in the most demanding real-world scenarios.
And the cost of not having those skills perfected.
Oof. It can be measured in serious liabilities, huge reputational damage, and tragically, sometimes even lives. The stakes are incredibly high.
And the impact of achieving that level of precision, it's immense. We're not just talking abstract risks here.
No, it's concrete.
We're talking actively protecting lives, rigorously safeguarding assets, and fostering that deep-seated professionalism and precision that can literally be the difference between, say, a manageable incident and a full-blown catastrophe. Imagine someone who can quickly, accurately assess the subtle dynamics of a volatile crowd.
Or the immediate, precise, safe handling of a weapon when circumstances absolutely demand it.
It's not about just being good enough. It's about being exceptional, right when it matters most.
Precisely. And beyond mastering those immediate sort of physical skills, we then move into the absolute critical area of technological update.
Ah, yes, technology.
Technology, as we all see every single day, is advancing at breakneck speed, every industry.
For sure.
And the security sector is certainly no exception. If personnel aren't diligently keeping pace with these innovations, or the very tech that's supposed to be an asset,
It can become a liability.
quickly, a significant liability starts creating vulnerabilities instead of strengths.
And this is where it gets really interesting because it's not just learning new software, is it?
Not at all.
We're talking rigorous, hands-on training in cutting-edge stuff, like advanced video surveillance systems, maybe with AI analytics built in.
Facial recognition, pattern analysis.
Sophisticated biometric access control, smart alarms that can actually differentiate between, say, an animal and a person.
Intelligence systems.
Surveillance drones giving you that eye in the sky. Complex risk analysis software predicting vulnerabilities.
That's a whole ecosystem.
These aren't just gadgets anymore. They're integral, interconnected parts of a huge, modern security infrastructure. And that demands a whole new level of cognitive skill, doesn't it?
It really does. Mastering these tools dramatically optimizes a team's capacity for rapid response to threats as they evolve.
Makes sense.
It fundamentally improves the efficiency of crime prevention, because now personnel can leverage these cutting-edge tools to spot subtle patterns, detect anomalies.
See things humans might miss.
Exactly. Even predict potential incidents before they fully blow up.
Yeah.
Crucially, it facilitates truly strategic decision-making by providing real-time, data-driven insights.
So it's not just about knowing how to turn the alarm on.
No. An officer who understands not just how to operate that smart alarm system, but how to interpret its data streams.
Ah.
How to troubleshoot its quirks, because things always go wrong.
Always.
And how to integrate its intelligence into the broader security strategy. That person is infinitely more effective than someone who just knows the on switch.
So the challenge is adopting the mindset, not just the tech.
That's exactly it. And training is what bridges that gap.
That deep understanding of technology, it leads us right into the next key benefit. Normative compliance. Hugely important. The private security sector operates within this incredibly complex, constantly shifting web of legal and regulatory framework.
That's a minefield sometimes.
Laws change, best practices get updated, protocols shift. And forgetting to stay current here, it's not just inefficient. Ignorance of the law is absolutely no excuse.
None whatsoever, especially when lives, property, and a company's reputation are on the line.
So this isn't just a pillar, it's like the bedrock.
It's the very foundation of legitimate, responsible operations. Continuous training ensures personnel don't just get theoretical knowledge of the current norms and procedures.
Right, not just reading the manual.
But vitally, they learn to correctly apply them in real-world scenarios, under pressure.
Which is critical for avoiding what? Sanctions, fines.
Severe sanctions,
Yeah.
hefty fines, crippling legal liabilities for the company, absolutely. Training here have to be comprehensive. It covers really crucial, often sensitive areas like human rights, the appropriate and lawful use of force, which is a huge one,
Always.
specific legislation for the sector they're working in,
Yeah.
and highly detailed step-by-step protocols for action in all sorts of situations.
And there's a big ethical dimension, too.
Paramount. Ensuring personnel operate within both the letter and the spirit of the law. That's crucial.
So, okay, it protects the company from legal trouble, which is obviously a huge financial and reputational shield.
Right.
But it's also fundamentally about ensuring ethical, responsible, lawful performance out in the field.
Which builds public trust.
Fosters positive community relations.
And frankly, it's just the right way to run a security business.
That ethical conduct becomes part of their professional identity.
It has to. And finally, we get to professional development and motivation.
Ah, the people side.
Yeah. And this is an area that, surprisingly often gets overlooked when we talk about just pure technical training.
Really? Why?
Well, maybe it seems softer, but its power in fostering a resilient, high-performing workforce is absolutely immense. When employees see a clear path forward, a chance to grow,
They become more engaged.
exponentially more engaged and invested. It's a huge motivator.
That makes total sense. So continuous training isn't just about fixing today's skill gap.
No, it's investing in an individual's future within the company.
It offers security personnel actual, tangible opportunities to grow professionally, to acquire totally new skills, new competencies, and crucially, to aspire to better, more responsible positions within the company. It sends a really clear signal, doesn't it?
It sends an unequivocal signal that the company values them, not just for the job they're doing right now,
Right.
but as long-term assets, people worthy of continued investment and growth.
And the impact of that.
Oh, it's profoundly significant. It dramatically reduces staff turnover,
Which is a killer in many industries, especially security.
chronic and costly problem. By fostering loyalty, a sense of belonging, the company retains that institutional knowledge, that experience. It stops the drain.
And a motivated workforce.
A workforce that feels motivated, valued, committed, that translates directly into higher quality service, greater operational effectiveness, and ultimately, better client satisfaction.
So the clients feel it too.
Absolutely. The sources specifically emphasize that well-structured professional development programs with clear career paths laid out, maybe mentorship opportunities, explicit recognition for merit. These are key to getting those benefits.
It changes the whole perception of training.
It transforms training from just a reactive necessity, oh, we have to do this, into a powerful, proactive tool for talent retention and really organizational excellence.
Okay, moving on then. We come to designing effective training programs, a systematic approach.
Right, the how-to.
This is where the rubber really meets the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's not enough to just understand why training is important.
Yep.
The real challenge, and maybe where a lot of organizations fall short, is how to do it effectively.
Yeah, the execution.
It's definitely not about just throwing a bunch of information at people and, hoping some of it sticks.
Spray and pray. Doesn't work.
It requires a meticulous, almost surgical process.
Indeed. The sources are absolutely clear on this. Effective training isn't born from improvisation or just ad hoc decisions made on the fly.
No.
It's the result of a systematic, highly structured process, and it must be meticulously aligned with the organization's unique needs, its strategic goals, and the specific skills required for its people.
So tailored, not generic.
Completely tailored. It's
Yeah.
about developing relevant capabilities and, crucially, setting up ways to actually evaluate if the training had an impact. Did it work?
Right. Measure it.
Without this systematic approach, training can easily just become a series of disconnected events, often ineffective, frankly.
Okay, so what's the very first, most critical step in that systematic design?
Precision diagnosis, identifying gaps.
Diagnosis first. Makes sense. You wouldn't prescribe medicine without knowing the illness.
Exactly the same principle. You just can't train effectively if you don't know exactly what knowledge gaps or skill gaps or, importantly, attitude gaps exist within your team.
Attitudes too. Interesting.
Oh, yes. This whole step is about avoiding that generic, one-size-fits-all training that just wastes time wastes resources, and gives you minimal results.
You're surgical.
Be surgical in your approach. Find the specific problem.
And this diagnostic process, it's multidimensional.
Yes, it ensures you get a really comprehensive understanding of the needs. Our sources break it down into 3 connected levels of analysis.
Okay, what's the first?
First is the organizational analysis. This focuses on the big picture, the overarching why. What's the strategic purpose of security within the broader context of the business it serves?
So it's about really getting under the hood of the client's business?
Deeply understanding it. Is it retail with lots of foot traffic?
Or a manufacturing plant with complex, dangerous machinery?
Or maybe a tech campus where intellectual property is the crown jewel?
Right. Each one has totally unique critical assets, different security objectives, a distinct risk environment.
Exactly. And you also have to factor in all the complex legal and contractual requirements that govern that specific operation.
It's the big picture that dictates the fundamental purpose of the security team there.
Precisely. This deep organizational analysis ensures training is never just done in a vacuum. It's directly, tightly aligned with the strategic goals, both the client's goals and the security company's goals.
So the training serves the business.
By understanding that whole picture from specific client vulnerabilities to the big business objectives, we guarantee the trained personnel will actively contribute to mitigating the most significant risks, the ones that really matter.
And help achieve those desired operational results.
Right. The sources explicitly link this analysis to measurable KPIs, things like incident reduction,
The big one.
demonstrably improved response times, increased client satisfaction showing up in surveys, even an enhanced company image overall.
And it ties back to compliance, too.
You're foundational for ensuring that normative compliance, which we just talked about being so critical for avoiding legal issues, is woven into the fabric of the training right from the very start.
Okay, so that's the organizational level. What's next?
Then we shift to the human resources analysis. This really zooms in on the who. Who needs training? And specifically, who needs what kind of training?
Getting personal.
It's about systematically examining the performance, the current skills, even the attitudes of the existing personnel.
How do you do that systematically?
Well, it involves scrutinizing a whole variety of information sources to paint a full picture.
Yeah.
You look at formal performance evaluations, obviously, drilling down into weak spots.
Okay.
Incident statistics give you objective data on where errors or lapses might be happening.
Client complaints.
Client complaints, yes. They can be sensitive, but they offer invaluable direct feedback. Can't ignore them.
Supervisor logs.
Supervisor daily logs. Minutes from the post. They provide those day-to-day insights into how individuals and teams are performing. But maybe the most essential piece, and often overlooked,
Yeah.
is direct observation, watching personnel in action.
Seeing it happen.
It's the absolute first line of defense for spotting anomalies, deviations from protocol, subtle signs of disengagement that might never show up in the quantitative data.
That direct observation element sounds fascinating. It's beyond just the numbers.
It captures the nuances of human behavior. It's about seeing if a guard is, say, overly reliant on technology and not using their own observation skills.
Or if they seem disengaged, burned out.
Or if they're exhibiting behaviors that could, down the line, lead to serious issues like corruption, abuse of power, misuse of force, things you need to catch early.
And the impact of doing this analysis well.
Profound. It helps you proactively address things like high staff turnover, which, as we said, is a huge drain.
Yeah.
And crucially, it helps identify and mitigate those serious behavioral risks, the ones that can have devastating legal, financial, and reputational consequences for a company if they're not dealt with.
Okay, so organization, human resources. What's the third level?
And finally, we get down to the tasks and operations analysis. This is the most granular level, super detailed. It focuses on the very specific what. What exactly needs to be trained?
Like the job description on steroids.
Kind of. It involves a highly detailed breakdown of every single job-specific function, responsibility, and operational instruction for each individual security post within that organization.
So at this level, you're asking really specific questions.
Exactly. What specific technical knowledge is needed? How to operate that specific CCTV system? Manage that biometric reader? Use these radio models effectively? Deploy this type of metal detector?
And apply specific defense techniques safely.
Right. And also, what nuanced attitudes are required? Things like proactive customer service, keen observation skills, calm de-escalation techniques. What's absolutely required for excellence in that specific role.
You're defining the precise behaviors you want to see.
Yes. This meticulous analysis lets us pinpoint highly specific operational risks that might otherwise just get missed,
Like what?
like unclear or ambiguous emergency protocols, deficiencies in how incident reports are being written, maybe they're missing key details, or critical weaknesses in document management, where handling records improperly could lead to major legal issues.
And the sources mention security audits here.
They highlight security audits as an incredibly powerful and often really underutilized tool at this stage.
How so?
The findings from these audits say a recurring failure in visitor registration procedures at Gate B,
Okay.
or consistent incorrect use of that new CCTV software in the control room,
Right.
or even widespread ignorance of the fire evacuation protocols for Building C. These findings directly and immediately translate into highly specific training needs.
So the audit isn't just pointing out flaws.
It fundamentally makes the audit plan a living, actionable draft of your next training plan. It ensures every single training effort is not just targeted, but directly addresses a verified, documented operational gap. No guesswork.
Wow. Okay. So once you've identified those really granular gaps through all 3 levels of analysis, the next critical step is setting smart learning objectives.
Yes. Smart objectives.
This isn't just, business jargon. It's about taking those needs you just identified and translating them into crystal clear, concise, and totally actionable goals.
Absolutely. It's about knowing exactly what specific, measurable result you're aiming for with every single training activity. No more vague hopes.
And a smart framework, it's indispensable here.
Not just indispensable, it becomes the compass for successful training design and security. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Right.
Every single training objective has to meticulously meet all 5 of those criteria. That's how you ensure it's effective and how you can eventually evaluate its impact.
It forces you to move beyond just vague wishes.
To concrete, verifiable targets. Exactly.
Okay, let's break down how SMART applies specifically in a security context. So, specific S, that means unambiguous, right?
Completely. It defines what concrete action the guard will perform or what specific knowledge they'll apply, not just get better at communication.
So maybe effectively use the two-way radio to relay critical incident details using the standard protocol within 15 seconds of verification. Something like that.
Perfect example. Very specific action, clear context, then measurable M.
If you can't measure it, you can't manage it or improve it.
Precisely. This means quantifiable criteria for success. Percentages, like 95% accuracy, error counts, maybe 0 omissions, response times, like that 15-second radio call, adherence to a checklist.
And this links directly, undeniably, to evaluation later on. How else can you prove it worked?
You can't, which leads to achievable.
Realistic goals.
The goal has to be genuinely possible, given the resources you have, the time allocated for training, and where the personnel are starting from, skill-wise.
Don't set people up to fail.
Exactly. Setting unachievable goals isn't just inefficient, it's profoundly demotivating. It leads to burnout.
Okay. Then relevant are.
This ensures the objective directly addresses the performance gap you identified in your diagnosis, and it has to be absolutely critical to the actual job objectives.
So training is a tool to solve a specific problem. It's not an end in itself.
Perfectly put. And finally, time-bound, T.
Gotta have a deadline.
Establishes a clear time frame for completion. This creates a sense of urgency, provides that deadline, and critically, it enables ongoing monitoring and the final impact assessment. This whole structure provides just unparalleled clarity for everyone involved.
Let's use that practical example from the sources again, because this really shows the power. The vague, useless objective was improve report writing.
Right. How do you measure improve? What does better look like? When is it supposed to happen? It's useless for planning or evaluation.
Compare that to the smart one. By the end of this week's 5-minute talk, 100% of shift guards will write a novelty report containing the 5 essential elements, who, what, when, where, why, without omissions, verified by daily supervisor review.
Now let's break that down using SMART. It's specific. Write a report, 5 elements, no omissions.
Measurable. 100% compliance, daily supervisor verification.
Achievable. Within a week, given it's a focused micro-training topic.
Relevant. Report writing is a critical job function.
And time-bound by the end of the week.
That level of clarity, it makes evaluation totally straightforward, and it ensures every minute of training is purposeful and has an impact.
It's the difference between just hoping for improvement and actually engineering it. structuring for it.
Okay, so you've done your diagnosis, you've got your super clear, smart objectives. What's next?
Next comes choosing training methods.
Selecting the right tools for the job.
Exactly. You're selecting the most appropriate methods based directly on those objectives you just set, the characteristics of the group you're training, and the resources, time, money, people that you actually have available.
So it's not just picking your favorite method.
No, it's a tailored selection process. Our sources highlight several common and effective ones. First, there's on-the-job training, OJT.
Learning by doing.
Undeniably ideal for developing practical skills. It lets personnel learn by doing, right there in the work environment, usually under direct, expert supervision. Its strength is immediate applicability.
Makes sense.
Then you have simulations and role-playing. These are incredibly powerful.
Why? Because they mimic reality.
They recreate realistic scenarios. This lets people practice critical decision-making, refine their communication skills, develop tactical responses, all in a safe, controlled environment. No real-world consequences if they mess up initially.
Learn from mistakes safely.
Precisely. Then, of course, there's still a place for traditional classroom training.
The classic.
Still vital for foundational theory, conceptual understanding, interactive group discussions. You need that intellectual groundwork sometimes.
But increasingly, we're seeing more online stuff.
Oh, absolutely. The immense potential of online learning, e-learning. It offers unparalleled flexibility, accessibility. Personnel can learn at their own pace pretty much anywhere.
On their phone at the post, maybe?
Potentially, yes. Often integrating interactive modules, videos, assessments. The big challenge here is making sure it's genuinely engaging, not just passive clicking.
Right. Active learning online is key.
So, after you've chosen your methods and delivered the training, the initial stages of evaluating impact begin, even before you get to the big ROI calculation.
Okay, early feedback.
The sources outline two foundational levels here. First is the reaction level.
How did people feel about the training?
Exactly. It measures immediate participant satisfaction.
Yeah.
Did they like the materials? Was the instructor clear? Was the method engaging? Did they feel it was relevant to their job?
Basic feedback forms, maybe?
Often, yes. Quick surveys, informal feedback. Was it a good use of their time? Did it make sense? This helps you refine the delivery of future training.
Okay. And the second initial level?
That's the learning level. This assesses the actual acquisition of the intended knowledge, the new skills or the desired attitudes. Do they actually learn something?
How do you measure that? Tests?
Typically measured through quizzes, tests, practical exercises, maybe short simulations right after the training finishes.
So it tells you if they grasped the material in the moment.
Right. Can they perform the drill correctly now?
Yeah.
In this controlled setting, it confirms the learning happened in the session.
But it doesn't yet tell you if they'll actually use it back on the job consistently.
Exactly. That crucial step, bridging the gap between learning and doing, that comes next in the evaluation process.
Okay. That sets the stage nicely. Let's move into techniques for skill development beyond theory.
Right. Making it stick.
Because knowing something is definitely one thing. You know, you can ace a multiple choice test on security protocols.
Memorize the steps.
But being able to do it effectively, consistently, instinctively, especially under pressure, that's a whole different ballgame.
Completely different challenge. Our sources really stress that security personnel need a truly holistic skill set. A robust toolkit.
Not just one thing.
No, it encompasses technical abilities, tactical acumen, and increasingly vital leadership capabilities as well. It's about building a well-rounded, multifaceted professional.
So where does that start? Technical skills.
This is precisely where theory transforms into actual operational competence. So yes, let's start with technical skills. These refer to the specific knowledge and the physical dexterity required to proficiently use that vast array of tools and technologies we see everywhere in modern security.
Okay, give us some examples. What are we talking about here?
We're talking comprehensive training in the precise use of sophisticated equipment. Things like advanced alarm systems, complex CCTV networks.
Not just watching monitors?
No, understanding the system, maybe basic troubleshooting, two-way communication radios, using them professionally and clearly, metal detectors, intricate access control systems like keycards or biometrics.
So it's not just knowing the on button.
Definitely not. It includes understanding configuration options, maybe performing basic maintenance, and definitely rapid troubleshooting when systems inevitably glitch, because they always do.
Always at the worst time.
Also, crucial under technical skills are personal defense techniques.
Hand-to-hand.
Encompassing hand-to-hand combat, yes, but also safe immobilization methods, and vitally, the proper, lawful, and proportionate use of force.
So they can protect themselves and others effectively.
While minimizing harm, And, importantly, minimizing legal exposure for themselves and the company.
And in first aid, you mentioned that earlier.
Incredibly important. Comprehensive first aid and CPR training, because security personnel are often the absolute first responders on scene for medical emergencies.
Before paramedics arrive.
Exactly. Those skills can literally be the difference between life and death in those first few critical minutes.
Wow. And knowing the rules, is that a technical skill?
Absolutely. A deep, evolving understanding of the complex legislation and regulations is a technical skill in itself.
Knowing the specific laws for private security?
The exact parameters for use of force, the protocols for detention if applicable, the fundamental rights of citizens they interact with, knowing this inside and out, is foundational for responsible, lawful, effective performance.
Prevents legal trouble, builds trust.
Exactly. This prevents liabilities and fosters that crucial public trust.
Okay, so those are technical skills. What about tactical skills?
Tactical skills. These are profoundly important. They're about the ability to rapidly evaluate dynamic situations,
Things changing quickly.
make quick, informed decisions under pressure, and execute complex plans effectively in these fluid, often high-stress environments. This moves beyond the what to the how and when.
How do you train for that? Drills.
Intensive drills and realistic field exercises are key. They meticulously simulate real-world scenarios. Think active robbery attempts,
Okay.
sophisticated intrusions, managing fire emergencies, complex building evacuations. It's about practicing the entire response sequence, from the initial alert right through to resolution until it becomes almost second nature. Instinctive.
Building that critical muscle memory for crisis moments.
That's the goal. Other vital tactical skills include advanced surveillance and patrol techniques.
Not just walking around.
No, not just walking a beat. It involves acutely identifying suspicious behavior, discreetly tracking individuals or vehicles if necessary, gathering critical information without drawing undue attention. Real tradecraft.
Crowd control, too.
Paramount, especially for large public events or sensitive locations. Ensuring large groups can be managed safely, directed effectively, and, crucially, de-escalated when tensions start to rise before it gets out of hand.
And communication under pressure.
Arguably one of the most vital tactical skills. In emergencies, crystal clear, concise, immediate communication is everything.
Proper radio use.
Yes, professional radio usage following protocols. Understanding and interpreting nonverbal cues from individuals. Are they nervous, aggressive, deceptive?
Evading the situation.
And efficient information management. Ensuring the right message gets to the right person at the right time, every single time. Miscommunication in a crisis, it can be absolutely catastrophic.
Definitely. Okay, so technical, tactical. What about leadership skills?
Right. Leadership skills. While we often think of these for managers.
Supervisors.
That's it. They're increasingly important for supervisors, yes, but managers too. And frankly, for anyone on the team who needs to take initiative, guide others, or make critical decisions under pressure.
Even a lone guard making a tough call.
Especially a lone guard making a crucial decision needs leadership skills, good judgment, decisiveness.
How are those developed? Just through experience?
Experience helps, but our sources emphasize they're also developed through formal leadership development programs.
Oh, do those cover?
Focusing on things like structured decision-making models, really effective communication techniques, motivating team members during challenging shifts or after difficult incidents,
Building teamwork?
fostering robust teamwork, and managing conflicts constructively instead of letting them fester or escalate.
And beyond formal classes?
Our sources highlight the immense value of mentorship and coaching from more experienced leaders within the organization.
Learning from the veterans?
These seasoned professionals can provide invaluable guidance, support, share their hard-won knowledge, those practical insights you don't get from a textbook.
Makes sense.
Also, strategically assigning responsibilities is a powerful tool. Give personnel opportunities to lead small projects, maybe manage a specific aspect of an operation for a short time.
Let them practice leading.
It's a practical way to develop their leadership abilities in a real-world but relatively low-stakes context. Developing all these diverse skills, tactical, leadership collectively, doesn't just improve individuals.
It lifts the whole team.
It dramatically enhances overall service quality, significantly increases safety for everyone, and profoundly strengthens the company's reputation as a leader in the security field.
Okay, this brings us logically to comprehensive evaluation of training effectiveness. Measuring ROI.
Right. Did it actually work? And was it worth it?
Because you can pour tons of money and time into training,
Mm-hmm.
but if you don't rigorously measure its actual impact, you're essentially flying blind, aren't you?
Completely. Unable to tell what's effective and what's just wasting resources.
So evaluation isn't just a nice to have.
It is absolutely crucial. Crucial for determining if that substantial investment in training is actually delivering the results you wanted and for making truly informed decisions about where to put your training dollars next year.
Data-driven decisions.
Absolutely. The sources emphasize a multi-level evaluation process. It builds systematically on those initial reaction and learning levels we touched on earlier.
Yep.
It progresses logically, step by step, from those immediate participant reactions all the way up to demonstrable, tangible organizational results. And that ultimately allows for a clearer calculation of the true return on investment, the ROI.
Right. So let's recap the levels. Level 1 was reaction.
Yep, the immediate feedback. Did they like it? Was it clear? Relevant?
Like after that 5 minutes of the supervisor talk, was it clear? Did the microlearning app work well?
Exactly. This helps you fine-tune the delivery method.
Level 2 was learning.
Did they actually acquire the knowledge or skill? Measure through tests, exercises, simulations, right after the training? Did they get it?
Confirms comprehension happened in the session.
Correct. Now, here's where it gets really critical for seeing real-world change. Level 3, behavior on the job application.
This is the big one, isn't it? The bridge.
This is the critical juncture where the rubber truly meets the road. It's all about directly observing if the behavior you trained is actually being applied correctly, consistently, systematically.
And recorded by the supervisor.
Yes, recorded by the supervisor in real time in the actual operational environment. This is huge.
So it's the proof it stuck.
It's the critical transition from learned in a classroom or simulation to done reliably out in the field. For instance, when a supervisor fills out their daily report and rates a guard on specific criteria.
Like knowledge and application of consignments, which means following post orders.
Exactly. Or personal presentation, reflecting professionalism, uniform standards.
Mm-hmm.
When they rate those things objectively,
They're evaluating level 3.
they are directly, empirically evaluating this change in behavior. It's the tangible, observable evidence that the training is making a measurable difference in day-to-day operations. It's showing that the learning is stuck and translated into improved performance.
Yeah. Okay. So reaction, learning, behavior, what's the top level?
And then the pinnacle.
Yeah.
Level 4, results, organizational KPIs.
The bottom line impact.
This is the highest, most comprehensive level of evaluation, and it's all about demonstrating that hard-nosed ROI. It involves pulling together data from all those lower levels, and crucially, linking it directly to the organization's key performance indicators, the KPIs, across the entire operation. This proves the business impact.
Okay, let's break down those KPIs. What are we looking at on an organizational level?
On an organizational level, the single most important KPI, the clearest indicator of success, is almost always the reduction of security incidents.
Fewer bad things happening.
Measurable, sustained decrease in actual events, robberies, intrusions, vandalism, internal theft, other security breaches. That's the ultimate goal.
What else? Response times.
Yes, we rigorously track improved response times. How quickly do personnel react to an alarm, a suspicious activity report, an ongoing incident? Faster is usually better.
Client satisfaction.
Another key metric, increased client satisfaction, often measured meticulously through recurring surveys, gauging their perception of service quality, responsiveness, professionalism. Are the clients happier?
And the company's image, does that count?
Absolutely. Let's not forget improved company image. A visibly well-trained, professional, efficient security force projects this undeniable aura of confidence, reliability, capability. That enhances market perception.
And audits. Fewer failures in audits.
Yes. A measurable decrease in nonconformities found in internal or external audits. That directly indicates better adherence to procedures and protocols, which is a direct result of effective, sustained training. These are all tangible benefits that really speak volumes to stakeholders.
Okay, what about human resources KPIs, things related to the staff themselves?
Shifting to HR KPIs, we objectively measure improvements in knowledge and skills. You can use pre- and post-training tests, more complex simulations, show the delta.
Changes in attitude or behavior.
We also look for quantifiable changes in attitudes and behaviors. These are often observed through supervisor reports, structured feedback mechanisms, noting improvements in critical areas like teamwork, communication effectiveness, consistent protocol adherence.
And turnover. You mentioned that's huge.
A very, very important HR KPI, especially in a high turnover industry like security, is reduced staff turnover. Personnel who feel competent, valued, see a path for growth through training. They're significantly more likely to stay.
Which saves money on recruitment and training new people constantly.
Exactly. It reduces those costs dramatically.
Finally, tasks and operations KPIs. More granular stuff.
Yes. Here we're looking at concrete improvements in process efficiency.
Doing things faster, better.
Reduced time needed to complete critical tasks, fewer errors in routine operations, optimized resource utilization, basically, getting more done with less waste, and also a measurable increase in work quality.
Like better reports.
Exactly. The accuracy and completeness of incident reports, the effectiveness of security inspections conducted, the overall quality of direct customer service interactions, these all speak to operational excellence driven by training.
So how do you actually gather all this diverse data for evaluation?
You need a variety of sophisticated methods of data collection. It's not just one thing.
Right.
This includes structured tests, challenging simulations, those crucial on-the-job observations by supervisors we talked about, detailed and objective supervision reports, carefully designed satisfaction surveys for both the personnel undergoing training and the clients receiving the service.
Pulling it all together.
All these different data streams feed into a comprehensive picture. It allows for a holistic and incredibly accurate assessment of how effective the training really was.
And then finally, with all that data, you can actually tackle the return on investment, ROI.
Yes. The big question, was it worth the cost?
This means systematically calculating all the direct and indirect costs of the training program.
Instructor time, materials, maybe lost productivity while people are training.
And rigorously comparing it to the tangible and intangible benefits you got.
Right. And while it's certainly not always easy to put an exact dollar figure on every single benefit, like what's the precise financial value of an improved company image or better morale?
Hard to quantify sometimes.
Very hard.
Very.
But the quantifiable elements like reduced losses from fewer security incidents, increased productivity from more efficient operations, higher client satisfaction leading to retention or new business, these provide undeniably valuable insights.
So the data empowers you.
This data empowers organizations to make truly data-driven choices about continuous improvement, about strategic investment in their people. It turns training from just being seen as a cost center into a demonstrable profit center, or at least a critical value driver.
Now here's where our sources get really interesting and maybe even a bit revolutionary. The supervisor as architect of performance. Daily impact and documentation.
Ah, yes. This is a crucial shift.
This section seems to fundamentally redefine the traditional role of a security supervisor.
It really does.
They're no longer just, the inspector, the person who monitors, or worse, just punishes mistakes.
Right, the old clipboard cop model.
Instead, they transform into sophisticated analysts, dedicated educators, and truly the architects of high performance for their team.
They are, as our sources so aptly put it, the absolute backbone of good security service. They make or break the quality on site.
It sounds like a profound shift in mindset.
It is a paradigm shift, really.
Yeah.
Moving away from that punitive, find the mistake approach to a supportive, proactive, build the capability approach. And at the very heart of this transformation is something that sounds deceptively simple.
Okay.
But it's incredibly powerful when applied consistently. The 5 minutes of the supervisor. The daily pillar.
5 minutes.
That's the idea. It's not just a casual morning chat or a quick roll call. It's a brief, highly structured, meticulously planned daily meeting.
Deliberately limited to no more than 5 minutes.
Right at the start of each shift.
Yeah.
It's designed to be this continuous micro-training intervention, woven seamlessly into the daily operations.
What does it do in those 5 minutes?
Reinforces key knowledge, introduces new topics very concisely, strategically aligns the whole team for the demanding day ahead. It's like daily surgical education.
And the benefits of something so short but consistent?
Substantial. It dramatically improves communication, both up and down the chain and among the team. Ensures relevant info, new directives, critical updates get shared clearly, immediately.
Reinforces protocol.
Reinforces vital security protocols by letting supervisors quickly address specific procedures or maybe discuss a recent incident briefly. It increases operational efficiency by setting clear, immediate tasks and objectives for that shift.
Teamwork, motivation.
Actively fosters teamwork. And importantly, it consistently motivates personnel by creating this positive, communicative, supportive learning environment right from the get-go each day.
How do you make just 5 minutes so impactful, though? Seems tough.
For it to work, the supervisor must plan ahead. This isn't improvised.
Okay. Preparation is key.
They select a specific relevant topic for that day, structure the key points with razor-sharp conciseness, and crucially, prepare an open-ended, thought-provoking question to encourage active participation and critical thinking, not just passive listening.
Get them thinking, not just nodding.
Exactly. It needs to be brief, energetic, maybe conducted standing up to maintain focus and readiness. It's not a lecture, it's a dynamic huddle, a performance brief.
Where do the topics for these 5-minute talks come from?
This is where the planning matrix in our sources really helps visualize it. Topics can stem directly from recent incidents.
Something that just happened.
Yeah, maybe on a previous shift or at another nearby site. Provides an immediate, real-world case study for quick analysis and reinforcement. What could we have done differently?
Makes it relevant.
Critically, and this is a profound insight from the sources, they also rise directly from security audit findings.
Back to the audits again.
This provides that powerful, direct translation of audit failures into immediate, actionable training needs, right there in the daily brief.
Give me an example.
Okay, say an audit finds persistent non-compliance in visitor registration at a certain post.
Right.
That immediately translates into a need for a targeted 5-minute reinforcement session on the correct access control procedures for visitors, right there the next day.
Or maybe incorrect use of the CCTV system.
Demands practical, focused training on that specific software. Maybe just one feature of it in that 5-minute window.
Ignorance of evacuation protocol.
Urgently requires a quick, focused review. Maybe even a verbal talk-through simulation. Okay, fire alarm goes off on this floor. What are the first 3 things you do?
So the audit plan isn't just a checklist of problems.
It literally becomes a living, evolving source document for your daily training plan. It ensures every single training minute targets a verified weakness. It closes the loop immediately.
And these talks can reinforce bigger training topics too.
Yes, absolutely. They can effectively reinforce content from broader, pre-established, continuous training plans, breaking down complex topics into highly digestible, manageable segments over several days or weeks.
And that planning matrix helps organize it all.
The sources provide an ingenious planning matrix example. It ensures every daily micro-training is purposeful, has a clear objective, and a way to engage people.
Let's bring that matrix example to life. What might a week look like?
Okay, imagine day 1, maybe a tactical topic, crowd control. The smart objective for each guard in that 5 minutes. Simply enunciate the 2 main goals for managing a crowd, effectively maybe maintaining order and ensuring safe movement.
And the engagement question?
Not hypothetical. Designed to tap their experience. Based on your experience at the main entrance, what's the first subtle sign you see when a small gathering might start escalating into a crowd control problem? Gets them thinking specifically.
Okay, day 2, procedurally.
Day 2, procedural topic, incident reporting. Objective. List the first 3 critical steps to take immediately after witnessing an incident. Question. What's the most common error you've observed when someone reports an incident by radio, the kind of error that causes critical confusion or delays?
Learning from common mistakes.
This structured approach ensures you're hitting smart objectives, even in that tiny 5-minute window. And you have clear evaluation criteria. Did they list the steps? Did they contribute thoughtfully to the discussion?
Does it work for soft skills too?
Absolutely. Day 3's topic could be effective communication. Objective. Describe the key difference between aggressive and assertive communication styles. Question. Can you think of a time when just changing your tone of voice completely changed the outcome of an interaction?
Technical skills.
Day 4. Weapon handling principles, if applicable. Objective. Recite the 4 fundamental safety rules. Question. Why is keeping your finger off the trigger until you're actually ready to fire so absolutely critical? Reinforces the why.
Even ethics.
Day 5 could cover ethics. Confidential information.
Yeah.
Objective. Explain why it's crucial not to disclose client information, even seemingly harmless details. Question. What kind of innocent information, if overheard, could potentially compromise security for our client?
Wow. It's truly comprehensive, but broken down into tiny, daily focused chunks, building competence brick by brick.
That's exactly the idea. Consistent, focused reinforcement.
Now let's talk about control and constructive feedback. This seems like another area where the traditional view needs shifting.
A fundamental reframing is needed. Control, in this progressive model we're discussing, should never be primarily punitive.
It's not about catching people.
Instead, it's a dynamic process. It's about regulating activities, ensuring consistent compliance with protocols, and crucially, correcting deviations promptly and constructively.
So it's a feedback mechanism.
Fundamentally. A continuous feedback mechanism designed for ongoing improvement, not for punishment.
Okay, so it's not about just catching someone doing something wrong just to write them up.
No, it's about systematically observing, precisely identifying areas where improvement is needed, and then guiding them toward the correct procedure, coaching them.
And the sources mention supervision and concurrent control here.
Yes, this is absolutely key. It refers to the supervisor's direct, constant, real-time observation of their team members in action, being present, being aware.
What does that allow?
It allows a supervisor, who should be trained to spot these things, to perceive any anomaly or deviation as it happens. Maybe a guard isn't meticulously following a specific access control procedure, or maybe they're exhibiting poor personal presentation, like a sloppy uniform that reflects negatively on the company image. Spotting it right away.
And that triggers.
It immediately triggers what our sources call the principle of action. This immediate detection allows for real-time intervention.
Stop small problems from becoming big ones.
Exactly. Preventing small deviations from escalating into costly errors,
Yeah.
significant security breaches, or even serious legal liabilities down the road. And this direct observation of behavior on the job. That is the indispensable third level of training evaluation we talked about.
Level 3 behavior. You're seeing it happen.
Providing immediate, actionable data on whether the training is being applied.
Okay, and here's the absolutely crucial part you said. The cornerstone of this new supervisory philosophy. Action corrective, training first.
Yes, this is huge. When a deviation is detected by the supervisor,
Yeah.
the first measure taken is new training. Not immediate punishment, not a formal warning usually. Training first.
That's a complete shift, isn't it, for many places?
A complete and progressive shift in the supervision mentality within private security. The supervisor acts as a coach.
So what do they do? Just tell them off?
No, they immediately re-explain the procedure clearly. They make sure the guard understands why the deviation happened.
Okay.
Was it a misunderstanding? Forgetfulness, lack of skill, and crucially, how to correct it effectively and efficiently next time.
Maybe demonstrate it again?
If necessary, yes. A practical demonstration, a brief on-the-spot exercise or drill to embed the correct behavior. This whole approach, sometimes called educational supervision,
Okay.
aims to create a safe, supportive learning environment. An environment where personnel feel comfortable asking questions, admitting they're unsure, even making small mistakes without that fear of immediate reprisal.
So feedback is constructive.
Always constructive, always oriented towards improvement and skill refinement, not tearing people down.
What about discipline then? Is there ever a place for it?
The formal disciplinary process is explicitly stated in the sources as the last resort.
Only when training fails repeatedly.
Exactly. It's only invoked when repeated training interventions, consistent coaching efforts, maybe documented conversations, consistently fail to correct the behavior. Or, of course, in cases of severe intentional misconduct. That's different.
And even then, how should it be perceived?
Even then, it must be perceived by the employee and the team as fair, as a structured, escalated culmination of all the ongoing support and training they received. It should never feel like it came out of the blue. It should never be the starting point of an intervention.
So this strategic view positions discipline as the ultimate tool to maintain standards.
But only after all avenues of development, coaching, and training have been genuinely exhausted.
This approach, focusing on training first, it doesn't just fix immediate problems, does it?
No, it also significantly consolidates improvements across the team. It embeds the desired behaviors more deeply. And in those rare instances where discipline is needed, it helps clearly identify individuals who, despite extensive support and training opportunities, demonstrate a persistent inability or perhaps unwillingness to align with the established performance standards.
Okay, this all ties directly into and seems fundamentally supported by the next section, the power of documentation, the supervisor's truth record.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely critical underpinning for everything we've just discussed.
Our sources are really emphatic about this, aren't they? Rigorous, meticulous documentation is not just an administrative burden, not just paperwork.
No, not at all. It is, in fact, the very backbone, the indispensable foundational support for this entire integrated system of training, control, and continuous improvement. It's your operational memory, your evidence base.
And its purpose goes way beyond just keeping records.
Far beyond. Firstly, and this is huge, It provides an ironclad legal defense.
How so?
In today's constantly evolving regulatory landscape, having clear, precise, objective records of every action taken, every incident responded to, every procedure followed meticulously, that protects the company against potential sanctions, fines, crippling legal liabilities.
And bad documentation.
Inefficient, incomplete, or just plain absent documentation can lead to serious, protracted legal problems. It makes the company incredibly vulnerable.
Okay, legal defense. What else? Performance management.
Secondly, yes, it forms the objective foundation for robust personnel performance management. Having objective, detailed, consistent records allows supervisors to accurately evaluate individual performance over time.
Not just based on memory or feelings.
Exactly. Identify persistent areas for improvement precisely. Make truly informed, evidence-based decisions about who needs more training, who's ready for promotion, who might need corrective action. It's how you track those measurable behavior changes from level 3 evaluation.
Got it. Thirdly, justifying actions.
Thirdly, it critically justifies actions taken in the field. Every decision made, every response during an incident, every intervention by a supervisor becomes part of an immutable historical record.
Why is that history important?
Vital for accountability. Vital for post-incident reviews to learn lessons. Vital for ensuring consistent quality of service day after day, shift after shift.
And it fuels future training.
And crucially, fourthly, it doesn't just record the past, it actively fuels future training planning. The rich data gathered from these documents becomes the raw material, the undeniable evidence for designing highly relevant, evidence-based, impactful training programs later on. It is, unequivocally, a strategic investment in the organization's future resilience and competence.
So what are these essential documents, the ones that form this truth record?
Our sources highlight 3 key ones. First, the supervision report.
The supervisor's daily log.
Basically, yes. It's the supervisor's daily, meticulous record of their field verifications and observations. It must include objective performance ratings for guards on specific items.
Like those examples, knowledge and application of consignments, following post orders, or personal presentation.
Exactly. Specific, observable behaviors linked to standards. It's essentially a real-time field thermometer for training effectiveness. It charts behavior change and compliance over time for each individual guard. Invaluable data for HR analysis and tracking level 3 behavior change.
Okay, supervision report. What's next? The novelty report.
Then there's the novelty report. Every single alteration to normal service, no matter how minor or seemingly insignificant it seems at the time, must be meticulously documented here.
Why novelty? Just means anything out of the ordinary.
Pretty much. Anything that deviates from the routine plan. And a well-written novelty report, meaning it's clear, precise, objective, richly detailed with the who, what, when, where, why, how, is not just an essential operational communication tool.
Becomes more.
It transforms into a valuable legal document if things go wrong later, and it becomes a powerful case study for future training sessions.
Like analyzing a real incident?
Exactly. Incidents like attempted robberies, acts of vandalism, medical emergencies, even internal issues like finding evidence of corruption by a guard. These require absolutely meticulous recording, and the very process of writing them well reinforces critical emergency communication skills.
Okay. And the third key document, the minute book.
And finally, the minute book, or sometimes called the log book. This is the official, chronological, and supposed to be immutable record of all activities that occur at a specific service post.
Like the ship's log.
Very similar concept. The supervisor must review it daily. They should sign or stamp each entry to verify the quality and accuracy of the information recorded by the guards on the previous shifts.
Why review it daily?
To stay fully updated on everything that happened before their shift started, any events, special instructions passed down, ongoing issues, it's absolutely essential for ensuring operational consistency, seamless handovers between shifts, and overall operational optimization. You can't manage what you don't know happened.
What's truly fascinating here, as the sources point out, is the profound cyclical relationship between these elements: control, documentation, and training.
Yes, they are not isolated functions at all. They are interdependent, seamlessly connected phases of a continuous improvement process, and it aligns perfectly with that Plan-Do-Check-Act cycle, PHVA.
It's a system.
This synergy is where the real magic happens for continuous improvement.
So let's trace that cycle. Control happens through the supervisor's direct observation in the field, spotting anomalies, deviations, areas for improvement.
Right. Then those findings are rigorously documented in the supervision report, maybe a novelty report, or noted during the minute book review. This provides objective, verifiable data that precisely pinpoints performance gaps.
And that documentation is the check phase of PHVA, or verify.
Exactly. It's confirming whether the desired outcomes, the standards, the trained behaviors are actually being achieved in practice, checking reality against the plan.
And then that clearly documented performance gap
Directly feeds into the next training intervention. This closes the loop.
So the problem identified in the documentation becomes the topic for
Maybe the next day's focused 5-minute talk. Or an immediate on-the-spot demonstration and coaching session by the supervisor. Or maybe assignment of a specific micro-learning module. Or perhaps it highlights the need for a more comprehensive simulation exercise later on.
It's a virtuous cycle.
It is. This continuous cycle transforms routine supervision and what seems like burdensome paperwork into a dynamic, living quality management system. It makes the supervisor's daily routine the engine for building a perpetually more competent, adaptable, and professional security team.
It's literally continuous improvement in action, driven by real-time data from the field.
Precisely.
This brings us nicely to integrating modern methodologies beyond the basics.
Yeah, amplifying that core process.
Because while that daily 5-minute supervisor talk is like the foundational reinforcing pillar,
The heartbeat.
its effectiveness gets amplified exponentially when it's part of a broader, more sophisticated learning ecosystem.
Right. Leveraging technology and different approaches to reinforce knowledge, deepen understanding, make learning truly continuous and embedded in the workflow.
So what are some of these modern methods the sources highlight? Micro-learning.
Absolutely. Microlearning, or sometimes called on-demand training, this involves delivering short, highly focused digital modules, often called training pills or nuggets.
Bite-sized learning.
Exactly. Personnel can access them anytime, anywhere, usually on personal devices like phones or tablets, maybe directly at their post, during slow periods, or on a break.
What are the benefits of that? Seems convenient.
Incredibly clear benefits, immense flexibility in scheduling, significantly better knowledge retention, often because the format is so focused and short, just-in-time reinforcement of critical procedures right when they need it.
Got that quick refresher before doing something tricky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it effectively creates this accessible reference library right at their fingertips. If a guard forgets this specific protocol for, say, a new visitor management system, they can quickly pull up a 60-second video or checklist on their phone for an immediate reminder. It's learning on their terms, exactly when and where they need it most.
Okay, micro-learning. What else? Simulations.
Then we have in situ simulations and case studies, because theoretical knowledge, while necessary, has to be validated through practice.
Bridging the knowing-doing gap again.
These methods let personnel actively apply what they've learned and intensively practice critical decision-making, but in a controlled, safe environment.
What does in situ mean here, on site?
Can be. It could include things like talk-throughs, where a guard just verbally walks through how they'd handle a hypothetical scenario right there at their post, describing their actions and their reasoning.
Forces them to think it through.
Or detailed discussions of real incident case studies, maybe based on those novelty reports we talked about, to extract vital lessons learned and figure out how to apply them to future responses. It forces deeper cognitive engagement, making sure they can translate theory into actionable plans.
And then the really high-tech stuff. Virtual reality VR and augmented reality AR.
And here's where we get into some genuinely cutting-edge, potentially transformative territory for training. VR and AR.
How are they changing security training?
These immersive technologies are revolutionizing things by enabling incredibly realistic, ultra-high fidelity simulations without any physical risk and without the massive logistical headaches and costs of setting up large-scale, real-world drills.
Sounds expensive up front, though.
They definitely require a significant initial investment, no question. But their impact, especially on preparing personnel for those high-risk, low-frequency events, the things that rarely happen but are catastrophic when they do, is potentially immense.
Like what kind of scenarios?
Imagine security personnel conducting incredibly realistic virtual evacuations of the specific building they work in. Every corridor, every exit matches reality.
Wow.
Or facing a simulated active shooter scenario that actually adapts based on their decisions and actions within the VR environment.
Learning under pressure safely.
Or practicing advanced verbal de-escalation techniques with AI-driven avatars that exhibit realistic emotions and reactions, all in a completely safe virtual space.
What about augmented reality, AR?
AR could superimpose vital information directly onto a guard's real-world view during live drills. Imagine seeing the fastest exit route highlighted in your vision during a fire drill,
Whoa.
or seeing the real-time location of a critical security asset, or even a person of interest identified by the system, overlaid on your view of the physical environment.
It's about building that realistic muscle memory for situations you hope never actually happen.
Exactly. For those critical incidents where hesitation or mistakes are not an option.
So all these methods together, the
They're-
5-minute talks, micro-learning, simulations, VR, AR, they create an integrated approach.
Yes, that's the key takeaway. Each methodology complements the others. They form this robust, continuous learning cycle.
How does that work?
Maybe the 5-minute talk introduces a key concept. Microlearning reinforces it with on-demand access. In situ simulations allow for practical application and decision practice in the real environment. And VR provides that ultimate immersive environment for high-stakes tactical training.
It's a whole ecosystem of learning.
This holistic, synergistic approach is really the key to developing truly competent, adaptable, and highly resilient security personnel prepared for an increasingly complex and unpredictable world.
Okay, all of this, from that quick daily huddle to advanced VR, it feeds seamlessly into our final core section, fostering a culture of continuous improvement. The PHVA cycle.
Yes, bringing it all together under a proven framework.
This is where everything we've discussed, the diagnosis, the SMART goals, the training methods, the supervisor's role, the documentation, the evaluation forms a cohesive, dynamic whole.
Exactly. The Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle, PHVA, or the Deming cycle as many know it, isn't just theory. It's the integral guiding framework for achieving genuine continuous improvement in security training.
It ensures the whole process isn't static, right? It keeps moving, adapting.
It ensures the entire process is dynamic, adaptable, and critically always evolving. This cycle isn't just an academic formality you stick on a chart. It's the operational guarantee that your training process is alive, constantly improving. It's the engine of excellence.
So let's quickly revisit how each phase of PHVA ties into everything we've covered. Phase 1. Plan, strategic foundation.
This is where you lay the absolute groundwork for success. It goes right back to that precision diagnosis we spent time on.
The organizational analysis for the why, HR for the who, tasks and operations for the what.
Exactly. And it's precisely where we set those incredibly clear, actionable, smart learning objectives. Remember the perfect novelty report example. This phase also critically incorporates security audits as an active planning tool, directly converting those audit findings into specific, actionable training needs. The audit plan is the draft training plan.
Okay, plan. Then phase 2, do, dynamic execute.
This is where the meticulous plan comes vibrantly to life, transforming strategy into daily reality. It's the execution of the training initiatives.
And the 5-minute supervisor talk is central here.
At its very heart is the 5 minutes of the supervisor, serving as that indispensable daily pillar, consistently reinforcing, embedding learning into the operational flow.
And integrating the modern methods.
This phase dynamically integrates those modern methodologies we just explored, the agile microlearning for on-demand knowledge, the practical in-situ simulations and case studies for application, the cutting-edge impact of VRR for high-stakes training. This is where theory becomes consistent practice.
Got it. Next, phase 3. Check, evaluation and impact control.
Right. A training program, no matter how well designed or enthusiastically delivered, is fundamentally incomplete if you don't rigorously measure its effectiveness. Did it work?
This phase is crucial for justifying the investment,
No.
and figuring out what to do next.
Absolutely crucial for justifying the investment, for identifying what's actually working well, and for planning smarter, more effective interventions down the line.
And this is where the multi-level evaluation framework fits in.
Precisely. Assessing immediate reaction and learning outcomes to confirm comprehension. Critically, observing and documenting behavior changes on the job level 3, and then aggregating all that to measure the impact on organizational results and KPIs level 4.
Confirming knowledge translated into results.
Exactly. And the power of documentation is utterly central here. The supervision report, novelty report, minute book, they aren't just paperwork. They are the objective truth records, providing the indisputable data needed for rigorous evaluation.
And the control process training first.
And the control process itself, viewed not as punitive, but as that constructive feedback loop, where new training is consistently the first corrective action when deviations are spotted.
Okay, plan, do, check. Brings us to phase 4, act, continuous improvement, and adaptation.
This is the crucial closing of the loop. But it's also, paradoxically, the relaunching point for the next cycle of improvement. It keeps the wheel turning.
How so? You take action based on the check phase.
Based on the comprehensive evaluation results from check, the supervisor, the training department, the whole organization takes decisive, informed action.
So if training worked well,
If an objective was clearly met, successfully embedded in behavior, the act phase might mean formalizing that new procedure as standard operating practice, recognizing exceptional performance through incentives, integrating that successful training module as a routine refresher, lock in the games.
and if it didn't work so well,
If, however, a deficiency was still detected or an objective wasn't fully met, the act phase means making proactive adjustments. Maybe try a different training method next time. Increase the frequency of reinforcement. Perhaps redefine the original SMART objective to make it more achievable or more relevant based on what you learned.
fine-tuning the system.
This vital refinement feeds directly back into the next plan phase. It ensures the entire program constantly evolves, adapts, and remains acutely aligned with the ever-changing needs of the security sector and the unique requirements of each client.
It's a continuous feedback loop.
Driven by data, guided by PHVA, that is the very essence of true continuous improvement. It makes security operations dynamic, incredibly resilient, and always better prepared for whatever lies ahead.
So let's wrap this up. What does this all mean for you, our listener?
Well, it means that continuous training, when it's meticulously structured under frameworks like PHVA, and crucially driven by those dedicated transformed supervisors we talked about, it does more than just tweak security operations.
It fundamentally re-engineers them.
It significantly reduces risks, dramatically improves service quality, and fosters deep, lasting client loyalty by building this unparalleled level of competence and trust.
And the supervisor's role in all this?
Absolutely pivotal. They transcend that old inspector model. They become indispensable leaders, patient mentors, transformative educators. They really are the architects of performance.
Building competence day by day.
Building highly competent, adaptable, professional security teams from the ground up, daily interaction by daily interaction.
Okay, and as always, we leave you with a provocative thought, something to chew on. This integrated approach to training and development, the one that leverages everything from a quick 5-minute daily talk to cutting-edge VR simulations, it isn't just about protecting buildings or assets, is it?
No, it's much bigger than that.
It's about building an organization's inherent resilience in what feels like an increasingly unpredictable world. It's about fostering true innovation to face new and evolving threats. It's about proactively preparing for the truly unforeseen challenges of tomorrow.
Building adaptability into the core.
So the question to ponder is, what might be the next frontier in training effectiveness for a world that seems to grow more complex, more unpredictable every single day? A world demanding not just skill, but deep adaptability and real forethought at every single level.
It truly is an ongoing journey, isn't it? A journey of learning, adaptation, and proactive anticipation. There's always another step.
Indeed there is. We certainly hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the really transformative power of training and development in private security.
Hope it was useful.
Until next time, keep digging deeper.